So, welcome. After a couple of challenges, I made it to recording the webinar on how to bring light and warmth into the darkness with essential oils for you. And I am very happy to be sharing this with you because it is such an important topic. A topic I'm very, very passionate about, especially since I moved up to Stockholm and experienced the fear that others are experiencing around winter, and how we can weave the oils into this to make it a completely different experience. So let me start with that most of you probably already know this, but just for the few who are new, the oils are not just an alternative to some kind of pill you take to get rid of your symptoms of your disease or discomfort. They are so much more than that, and today I'd like to give you a little insight into this world of how we can use them. And different from what you might be used to, I'm not going to share a presentation with you with heaps of information because I would like to do it differently. And I would like you to be able to just sit back, listen to my story with an open heart and mind, and allow yourself to let the message come through. Ask the questions that arise and simply enjoy this and see how you can use the oils to make a shift in how you experience winter. By moving to Stockholm, I've come to experience the fear around winter, as I said, the darkness and the cold, and not only for myself per se, but more my surroundings. And as I get older, my awareness to the light, or in this case, the absence of light, is growing and growing. And a couple of years ago, I couldn't really bother. And honestly, I also didn't really notice the differences in seasons and what it made me, how it made me feel. And during the period that I had been sick, which included the winter months, I felt like my senses and awareness were sharpened. And I found myself in a situation where my mood, my spirit, and my energy level was highly depending on the amount of daylight and brightness and temperature. So it was in those moments where I started using the oils, and I started using the citrus oils to lift my spirit and mood. And for the nurturing, comforting, and calming oils, to help me slow down my pace, to adjust to the cycle of nature. And where summer is the time to go out, highly energized and excited to start new things, winter really is the time to regenerate, to reflect and to withdraw a little and nurture yourself, to let go of what is no longer needed, and therefore to make space and to create again in spring and summer. And the more we allow ourselves to live in sync with this rhythm, the easier it is, because intuitively our system, our body knows when it's time to prepare and when it's time to rise and shine. And having that said, let's look into how we can assist our bodies, our spirit, and our mind into this transition without losing the spirit, optimism, hope, and ease. Because let's be honest, sometimes when you're in the midst of it, it can feel like the darkness and cold are endless. So it's time to go inside for a little and have a little self-inquiry. So I would like to invite you to close your eyes, place your hands on your heart, and take a couple of deep breaths. Now gently ask yourself, how do you feel about winter? How does it make you feel like? What emotions are coming up? And are there some body symptoms, some responses in your body that you can be aware of? Is your breath getting shorter and higher? Are you getting a bit tensed? And how are you looking forward to the coziness of winter? Or is it rather freaking you out, making you a little anxious, And do you wake up every morning wishing it was summer already? How does it make you feel to go outside? Do you like the cold air on your face? Do you like the bright skies, the way nature looks in winter, or does it make you shiver? And how can you embrace winter and rest in the knowing that it is temporary, maybe? What is your default mode in winter? Are you snuggling up on the couch? Are you withdrawing from the outside world? Are you being less social? Do you have difficulties, maybe even expressing your emotions and feelings because you feel way more vulnerable in winter? Does your life feel like it's more heavy in winter? How does your body feel in winter? How do you feel with your winter clothes? Take some time to explore this. Some thoughts that might come up. And when you're ready, open your eyes, and if you have a pen and paper, take some time to write down what you've just experienced. And write down how winter is for you. Once you've done this, we'll dive into the oils. And after the class, or after this, after I've walked you through, we're gonna have a look at how you look at winter, how you experience winter, and see how you can make it easier for yourself. Let go of the resistance and try to embrace winter and rest in the knowing that it is temporary indeed, and that after this, spring and summer will come again. And I just wanted to share this little thing. Someone told me the other day. She was just hunting summer all the time, and as soon as autumn started, she was already looking for going somewhere else to experience summer over again and over again and over again. And after a couple of cycles where she skipped winter, she realized that she missed this period of regeneration, of getting back into your strength, the nourishment that comes with winter. Because she was constantly in the summer vibe, constantly in the high energy and new ideas and excitement and creating new stuff without filling up her cup in winter. And that made her, feel tired and exhausted and depleted, and made her realize that it's not for a reason that we have this cycle of shining and then going back into regenerating before we can create again. All right, so how can we use the oils to assist us in these winter months? I'm going to walk you through a couple of beautiful oils that are so helpful in fighting feelings of sadness, despair, discouragement, the hopelessness, and basically feeling unhappy and unstable. And by showing you how you can weave them into your daily life, how you can weave them into your routines, which will make it more effortless, because we're not waiting for an extra task or an extra responsibility. And the beauty of the oils is that they can weave in very gently without needing to put in a lot of effort. So let's begin with how you could start your day to set the tone for the rest of the day. One of the things I love to do is an aromatic dressing. And an aromatic dressing is you take a little bowl, or you just cup your hands and you pour in some carrier oil. And that can be a coconut oil, or you use a jojoba oil, or maybe an almond oil, which is a bit more rich and very nice for sensitive skin, especially in winter when we need this nourishment and when your skin can be very dry and sensitive because of the differences in temperature. And also a wonderful oil you could use is sesame oil, which is a very warming oil, In the Ayurveda, they use it to warm up the body, for example. So what you do is you put the carrier oil in your hand, and then followed by a couple of drops of essential oil. And you can be intuitive in this. What is an oil what is calling you? Go up to your oils, have a look at them, and most of the times a few of them pop out. Take them, smell them, and see if that is what you would like to put on your body for that day. So for example, take a bergamot. A bergamot is a citrus oil, and it helps alleviate tension, stress, anxiety, feelings of agitation and tension. And it is calming for the unknown fears. And sometimes in winter, we tend to be a bit anxious or a bit fearful or a bit in doubt. And it's a great oil to calm this. So bergamot is also a powerful cleanser, creating movement in our energy system to bring hope and regeneration. So what I do is I either use it in an aromatic dressing, or I apply it to my body topically. And I will come back to that after I've walked you through another few beautiful oils. So bergamot is one of them. It's also a great oil for self-acceptance and to give you the courage to do stuff, to feel that you can depend on yourself because you're capable, you're worth it, and you know what you can, right? That is bergamot for me. Basil is another wonderful oil that helps reduce fatigue and uplifts the spirit. And I like to combine basil and wild orange, for example. Wild orange is the oil of abundance. And when we feel lack of creativity and joy in our life, maybe even discouraged and rigid in our thinking, wild orange is the one to uplift us and to energize us. Not in a way of bouncing off the walls, but in a way of regaining your strength. Together with basil, it's a really powerful one and a great one to start your day. Another wonderful oil for some energy is grapefruit. Grapefruit has energizing properties, and it makes it ideal for those who become tired, unmotivated, and sleepy during the winter months. So to really kickstart your day, grapefruit is a wonderful oil to use as an aromatic dressing and gently rub your whole body. Also, grapefruit is the oil of the body awareness, honoring your body, loving your body. And I don't know how about you, but in winter, my body tends to feel more heavy, a bit more sluggish. And even though I'm not gaining weight in winter, it feels like it's heavier. And maybe that's also because of the clothes we're wearing. They're literally putting a bit of pressure on our body. Maybe, different layers make you feel less flexible and a bit more stiff. So explore this and see how they can change the way you start off your day. So, little recap: bergamot, basil, grapefruit, wild orange. Few of my, I would say, favorite oils to start the day with an aromatic dressing. Two other ones that I love to use are frankincense and ylang ylang. And frankincense is literally the oil of lifting the darkness, reconnecting the soul with our inner light. And ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child, fighting joylessness, sadness, stressed feelings, and overanalyzing. So when we get caught up in thoughts and patterns, ylang ylang is a great one together with frankincense because it grounds us. It stops the mind from chattering. So those two are also very nice to have a gentle start in your day. When you already wake up feeling tensed and kind of heavy, like, oh, I wish this day would go by just snuggling up in my bed, taking my blanket over my head and just withdrawing from life. So experiment with them, make different blends. You can also use frankincense and wild orange, for example, to start your day. Or maybe you like to do a wild orange, a grapefruit, and a frankincense. Allow yourself to try and to see what is best for you. So the second part of my morning routine is under my feet. I like to apply oils under my feet. One of them is balance. I start my day off with balance. Balance keeps me grounded, keeps me centered, and makes it easier to stay in my core. You know, when you are being taken out of your balance by everything that happens throughout the day, the oil balance is the one that keeps you sane, right? So I put it under my feet twice a day before I go to bed and in the morning. And yes, that is what I do in mornings. Then, when I get ready for the day, I put on my diffuser. And why do I put on my diffuser? I put on my diffuser because the aromatic use of essential oils is the one that goes straight to our emotions, our mood, and how we feel. So by inhaling the aroma, you have this chemistry in your brain which makes you feel more happy, more confident, energized, more relaxed. Really looking forward to the day, creating excitement, creating joy, and assisting in moving through the day, right? So what I put in my diffuser is I like to put a grapefruit, a basil, and a peppermint, for example, or basil, peppermint, and lemon. And I love to use the lime oil. Lime is the oil for zest of life. It gives us the spark, makes us feel light, right? And you can combine lime with many different oils, like basil, peppermint, maybe a lime and a balance, even a frankincense and a lime. And then throughout the day, when I feel my mood is shifting or my spirit is dipping, a cheer is a wonderful oil. It's citruses and together with spices. So the citruses uplift and the spices are really the ones that stimulate us. Keep on going onwards. And in the moment where you're on the couch and you would like to go outside, because once you are outside, you're going to feel much more energized, inspired, having new ideas, maybe some creative ideas. But we're so comfortable inside, and that is what kind of holds us back. So try and use the cheer in your diffuser to keep you going, or the motivate. The motivate is a great one to energize you, give you courage to face pessimism and doubts. When we kind of give up, like, okay, we're not going to make this. Motivate is the one who gives us the driving force. Right? It creates feelings of self-assurance and it makes you take the extra step to get into the world, to get your message into the world, or to get the stuff doing that you've been wanting to do, but you haven't been doing because of I don't know what reasons. And you can or apply them to your pulse points in your neck and just breathe them in from your cupped hands, or you can put them in your diffuser to set the tone, which is also a wonderful thing to do when you come home from work and you're like, oh, I don't feel like cooking, I'm tired, I just want to go watch Netflix all night, which isn't going to give you this feeling of fulfillment, right? What is going to give you the feeling of fulfillment? It is maybe taking your journal, writing into it, cooking for you, cooking for your loved ones. It might be sending your friend a message, calling the friend, or going out to the friend that is in need. These are all the things that make us feel fulfilled by the end of the day, yet sometimes we don't feel the energy to do it, right? And then oils like cheer and motivate are the ones to get us going. Other beautiful oils to get you going are the warming oils. And why? Because they are in some way activating, yet very comforting. So, peppermint is activating too. It's energizing in a very physical way. But since it's a very fresh oil, I don't use it very often in winter because it is a cold oil. It's literally the oil that cools our body down. Instead of that activation, I like the activation of a ginger, for example, because the ginger is a very empowering oil, which gets you out of the victim mentality. The mentality like, oh, my life is just so hard, and it's winter and I can't do anything in winter, and I can't go work out, and I can't go outside because it's cold, and when I'm cold I get sick, etc., etc., etc. Ginger is really the one to give you some fire. Speaking of which, my body is not really the best in keeping my heat up in the body. So last couple of weeks I've experienced a couple of days where my body was just cold, ice cold from the inside. And whatever I did, putting on an extra woolen sweater, a cardigan, scarf, a hat, going take a shower, take a warm water bottle, my body was just staying cold. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, I need to find another way to heat up my body, to assist my body in heating it up. And what I did is I took a veggie cap. So you just open the capsule and I put in 3 drops of ginger and 1 drop of cinnamon. And I kid you not, 5 minutes later, it was like the central heating was just turned on 5. My body I could feel the warming sensation coming up. I was even sweating a little. I had to take off all the layers that I put on before. And it was so nice to feel the warmth and to feel the relaxation coming with the warmth. Because when we're cold, we tense up and our muscles get tensed. And once I was more warm, it allowed me to relax. And that was a beautiful experience. So I would encourage you to experiment with some oils to heat up your body. Just be aware of the fact that so warm oils are ginger, cinnamon, clove, cassia, black pepper. Just be aware of the fact that they can be sensitive to your skin. So always dilute them before you apply them topically. And when I was in a clinic in Germany in summer when I was ill, I was having the same troubles with my body temperature. I had blue feet and I had white hands, even though it was 25 degrees outside. So no matter what I did, I wouldn't get warm until one of the nurses said, okay, let's make you a ginger pack on your kidneys. And that's what we did. So in this case, it was ginger powder with some water, and she would put it on my kidneys. And then it was warm because the water was warm. It would cool down, and then I had this cold pack on my kidneys, almost like, okay, I'm going to take this off because it's going to cool my body more and more and more instead of warming it up. And then just 5 to 10 minutes later, I could really feel the heat radiating from my kidneys because they got activated. And what I did is I got out of my bed and then I went for a walk, because the walk made the heat circulate throughout my body. And that was just one of the wonderful experiences of using herbs and plants to assist your body. And ever since, I've been doing the same with my ginger oil, applying it to the back of to my back, my lower back, my kidneys and my adrenals, to really heat up the body. I use 2 to 3 drops and dilute it with some coconut oil and give myself a gentle rub. Other perfect oils for heat are black pepper under your feet before you go out for a long walk in the cold. So these are oils that you can use topically, like I just mentioned. I use them in my teas, in my coffees, in my hot chocolates. And you can use them in your diffuser. And if you use them in your diffuser, they create this comfortable, warm blanket, right? So a few diffuser blends I like to do in my home. And one of them is inspired by my dear friend Vera. 2 drops of cassia, 2 drops of clove, and 3 drops of tangerine. That's like, taking your apple pie out of the oven and eating some apple pie and drinking a hot tea with your family. That's what it feels like. The other one is a more refreshing one, yet very warming. It's 3 drops of spearmint, and I use spearmint instead of peppermint because the spearmint is more sweet, where the peppermint is cooling and a bit cold, I would say. 3 drops of spearmint, 2 drops of cassia, and 2 drops of wild orange. And another of my favorite blends, it's called Lift the Darkness, is a combination of frankincense, wild orange, and bergamot. And for this one, try what you prefer. Is it more the reassurance, the self-acceptance, the non-judgmental attitude? Then go for a bit more bergamot, like 3 bergamot, 2 wild orange, 2 frankincense. Are you looking for a more sweeter scent? Then go for 2 bergamot, 3 wild orange, and 2 frankincense. Or if you want to go for a more earthy, grounding, really getting you back to your inner core, getting your inner self, your inner soul, your inner light, really making the connection, then go for 3 frankincense, 2 wild orange, and 1 bergamot, for example. So experiment a little and see what works for you. I can tell you what works for me, and it's the invitation to see what works for you, what you like best, what lifts you up. And once you have this, you have this few oils where you can really feel that they're making a difference, that they have, they make a shift. It's so nice to have them with you and feel like you can rely on them. It takes off so much pressure because once you experience what they can do for you, there is no need to be anxious. There is no need to fear what is coming and to be desperate and some kind of hopeless, because you have these tools to shift your mood. It's not covering up your mood, it's shifting your mood, right? Moving into a better place. That's basically what they do. Talking of which, Confidently Onwards blend is peppermint, basil, and bergamot. And I am diffusing it right now. You can't see my Lumo, do you? Well, you can see it a little bit. That's my Lumo. As a few of you might know, I'm staying in a place where I don't feel at home at all. And it is a big, big challenge, but the oils are making it so much easier to create this feeling of comfort and home, even though the physical surroundings might be very different, right? Because they make you feel home and at ease in yourself. And I think that's the greatest gift we can give ourselves. Then the Rescue Moustache. Few of you might know this. I like to do, if I feel completely overwhelmed or sad, or I just lost my confidence or trust or vision even, I like to do an oil moustache. And what I do is I take an oil and I just apply it under my nose, what will give me the instant relief, the instant rescue. That's why I call it the Rescue Moustache. And I do this with peace, really reassuring oil, or I do it with an oil like neroli. And neroli is one of my favorite oils at the moment It's a flower. It's the flower of the bitter orange tree. So we have the wild oranges, we have the bergamot, and the bergamot it's a citrus fruit. We have the petitgrain, that is the oil of the leaves of this particular tree. And then we have the neroli. And the neroli is the oil of the flowers of this particular tree. So neroli and bergamot for me are like this beautiful team, right? The companions. And neroli is a great oil for relieving occasional anxiousness and unsettled feelings. And that is what I've been experiencing lately, is the unsettled feelings, like not being able to feel at home in yourself, in maybe the physical place where you are, in relationships that you have, or maybe in your work, and feeling more settled, feeling more stable, and knowing that you can do this, right? That's neroli. What I do, apply it as a moustache, put it in my hands, and then inhale it a couple of times, or bring it onto your heart area. And you can also combine neroli, cheer, and motivate if you like. You can combine neroli and a wild orange, or neroli and a frankincense. And then, so that's what I do throughout the day. So I start my day with a diffuser and an aromatic dressing. And then as soon as I feel like my mood is shifting downwards, or my spirit is dripping or whatever, I take my oils. Either I put on my diffuser when I'm at home, or I just apply them to my pulse points over here in my back, in my neck, behind my ears, or I just sniff them from the bottle. And then at night again, or when I come home, I put on my diffuser. And at night I choose more oils to calm me down, to relax, and to regenerate. Frankincense, lavender, a clary sage. And the clary sage is a wonderful calming oil, and emotionally it's the oil of the vision. And sometimes when we get back into ourselves and we take some time to relax and to journal a little bit, or just have a cup of tea and look outside of the window and see what happens, enjoy nature, that's where the ideas are coming, right? And the clary sage is the oil of vision. Where do you want to go? Get clear on what makes you go, what makes your fire lit, what is your purpose, what is your vision, how do you want to live your life? And also looking forward to summer, how are you going to spend your time? Which direction do you want to move? Do you want to shift a little? How do you want to shape your life? So yes, that's also a beautiful oil to put in your diffuser. And the last one is sandalwood. And sandalwood is an oil to soothe your senses. And soothing the senses means calming you. And especially in winter, sensations can be more intense. Experiences, also impulses from outside. You feel a bit more vulnerable. You feel a bit more, inwards and less outgoing. And things people say to you, or sounds, or light, or just experiences can be more intense. And for that one, sandalwood is a great oil. Put it over your heart chakra, or diffuse it under your feet. And last but not least, before I forget, winter also brings the holidays, which is amazing, fantastic, beautiful, but can also bring tension, stress, and a lot of emotions. And what I like to do during the Christmas days and the holidays in general, if we come together with family, everyone brings their emotions and all the family things and histories and stories. Put some serenity in the diffuser. It's not going to make everyone sleepy, but what it does, it's calming down the hot feelings. Hot is not English, I know it's not, but the heated emotions and feelings, right? And to just be able to take a step back and simply enjoy each other's presence without all the stories, the pain, the issues, right? And what I also like to diffuse during Christmas is a forgive. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and just let go of the resentment. Let go of what has been and be open to new experiences, a new way of experiencing family gatherings, a new way of experiencing Christmas even. And it's funny because I was talking to friends the other day about forgive, and forgive is basically trees and grasses and herbs, right? And it's interesting because if you smell it, it smells like a forest. And during Christmas, we take in our trees to celebrate, and it has this funny little realization that the trees are the ones that make us feel grounded, and it makes a Christmas tree get a whole different meaning by getting a tree into your house to calm you, to keep you grounded, and to stay in the present moment. So yeah, that was a little nugget I wanted to share with you. So we've walked through different oils that you can use to lift the spirit, to make you feel more joyous, happy, creative, and also calm and reassured. And I would like to invite you to experiment with them, to give yourself some time to see if you can shift your mood in winter and embrace the time of regeneration, embrace the time of withdrawing a little, going more inwards, and gathering your strength to go out in spring and summer again. And if you have any questions, let me know. Write me a message on Facebook or a WhatsApp message or an email, and have a look at what winter is for you, how it makes you feel, and see if you can make little changes in this, and if you can use the oils to shift your experience and create a new experience. And I'm really curious to hear how this journey is for you and the experiences you've made. So I would love to hear that too. And for now, I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon.